Macmillan Audio presents Anything He Wants by Sara Fawkes. Read for you by Clarissa Knightley. Chapter 1. The high point of my workdays lately was seeing the gorgeous stranger every morning. I hurried through the lobby toward the elevators as fast as decorum and my heels would allow, passing ladders and service crews working on the old building's antiquated electrical systems. The dark-haired stranger arrived at the elevator like clockwork at 8:20 a.m. every day, and this morning proved no exception. I jockeyed my way through the crowd until I stood close, but not conspicuously so, to the stranger, and stared at the elevator doors while pretending to ignore him. It wasn't a game, although it sometimes felt that way. Men that handsome always stayed several steps outside my sphere of influence, and this man was no different. Didn't mean a girl couldn't dream. The doors opened, and I moved with the small crowd onto the elevator, making sure my floor was pressed. The old, or historic, as some like to say, building was in the midst of a full renovation. Everything was being upgraded to new, more modern settings, but for now, they still had the older-style elevators. Smaller and slower than current models, the metal box nevertheless did its job as it chugged up to the floors above. I rearranged the large satchel in my arm, sliding a glance sideways and catching his eye. Does he know I watch him? Flushing, I turned my gaze forward once again as the elevator opened to let another string of people off to their floors. My stop was still 11 floors away. I did data entry as temp work for Hamilton Industries. The company spanned most of the upper levels, but my small cubicle was tucked away in a forgotten corner near the middle. I loved the clean-cut, suited look, and the dark-haired man was always impeccably dressed in suits and ties that probably cost more than what I made in a month. Everything about him screamed high society, far out of my league, but that never stopped my fantasy life from including him. The handsome stranger was part of my dreams, the face I saw when I closed my eyes for bed. As I'd had nothing between my legs not run by batteries in well over a year, my fantasies were getting pretty kinky. I took a moment to think about them now, and a slow smile spread across my face. It didn't take much to get me going, but the image in my mind of being pushed against a wall and ravaged, oh yeah. Passengers continued to disembark, and as the elevator doors shut, I pulled myself out of my reverie as I realized that for the first time, I was actually alone with the stranger. Clearing my throat nervously, I smoothed down my pencil skirt with my free hand as the old elevator continued its trek up to my workplace. Breathe, Lucy, just breathe. Desire curled in my belly, fueled by thoughts of all sorts of naughty things in elevators. I wonder if this one has cameras. I heard a faint rustle behind me. Then a thick arm appeared beside me and pressed a red button on the panel. Immediately, the elevator ground to a halt, and before I could say anything, arms appeared on either side of my head, and a low voice next to my ear murmured, "I see you on this elevator every morning. You're doing, I take it?" Shocked into silence, I could only blink in wide-eyed confusion. Should I pinch myself? Is this really happening? As I was pressed against the elevator doors by a hard body behind me, the cool metal against my suddenly hard and sensitive nipples elicited a breathy moan. "What?" I started, immediately forgetting whatever I was going to say as I felt his hard length press against my hip.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?